Hello friends and welcome to my new video. Unlike my earlier videos where I speak about some of my favorite cinemas, in today's video I want to talk about a new web series, a series that has just started on Netflix, and it's called Bombay Begums. Bombay Begums is currently showing on Netflix and is a 6 episode first season which is on at the moment. Bombay Begums has been made by Alankrita Srivastava, who had earlier made the much acclaimed Lipstick Under My Burqa. And like her earlier venture, this series too, is a journey of 5 strong women living in the city of Bombay, and it charts their journey of life. And the good thing about Bombay Begums is each one of the 5 women are shown to be truly human. There is nothing superhuman about them. There is nothing hero-like about them. They're not all white characters. Each of their characters have a fair mix of grey, and they succeed in the right balance, achieving the right balance of powerful and yet vulnerable. That balance is struck beautifully by Alankrita Srivastava's characterization of these 5 women. The cast is an ensemble cast, a very very talented cast. Pooja Bhatt makes her comeback with this series. I can't remember the last time I saw Pooja Bhatt. It must have been a couple of decades ago, and it's very refreshing to see her back in action as Rani Irani, the CEO of a bank which is undergoing tough times, and she takes it upon herself to change the fortunes of the bank. She's a self-made woman. Rani is a self-made woman, and as a CEO, she does her utmost to keep the bank afloat, and her dynamism is really inspiring to other people around her. And she is the main protagonist of Bombay Begums, Rani Irani, and she is joined by other strong women characters like that of Fatima, essayed brilliantly by Shahana Goswami. Fatima plays another employee of the same bank, and she is the number 2 to Rani, and Rani grooms her to be the deputy CEO, the deputy managing director of the bank. And it's Fatima's story as much as it is Rani's story. And then there is Shai, who is the stepdaughter of Rani. She's at a very difficult age. She's at just the preteen age, about to reach puberty, about to reach her adolescence, and she has an inborn dislike towards Rani, who she doesn't acknowledge as her mother. And it's also the story of Shai. Along with it, it is also the story of another young girl who works in the bank, and her name is Aisha. And Aisha is this really ambitious, go-getting girl from a small town, from Indore, and she comes to Bombay in order to fulfill her dreams, and she's willing to pay any price to achieve her dreams. She is also exploring her own self to find out what she wants. And it's also a story of her journey. So you have Rani, you have Fatima, you have Shai, you have Aisha, and all of them are intricately linked with one another in their quest for making a name for themselves. And in this equation, you also have Lily, who is a prostitute, who is an ex-bar dancer turned prostitute, who has great dreams not for herself but for her son, who she wants to achieve a respect and a standing in society which unfortunately she doesn't have. So it's also the story of Lily, and Lily is portrayed by Amrita Subhash, and she is absolutely fabulous in her portrayal. I'll come to the acting later on, but more about the series now. And it's an intriguing tale of these 5 women who are somehow linked with one another as they make their way through life, stumbling and falling and picking themselves up again, and going through with this journey, exploring themselves. And there are so many things about a woman that is explored so beautifully out here. I mean, at one end of the spectrum, you have someone like Shai, who is just about to get her first period, and the apprehensions and the excitement and the confusion she has regarding it. And on the other hand, you have Rani, her stepmother, who is approaching menopause, and the physical and the physiological changes that she goes through because of that phase of her life is also explored. And then you have someone like Aisha, who is exploring her sexuality. She doesn't know if she's straight or she's bisexual, because she's confused. She doesn't know where she stands. And all this is portrayed with a backdrop of ambition and greed and this burning desire to make a name for oneself, to find one's own place in society. And it's dealt with very sensitively and brilliantly, I think. I don't know whether Bombay Begums will be on for quite some time or not, because there are quite a few controversial scenes which have been objected to. As I make this video, I've read the news that there is talk of the serial being withdrawn because of a few objectionable sequences in the series. But to me, what has been shown and what has been depicted is reality. It's a sad reality, it's a sad truth that exists in certain sections of our society today. And it's been dealt with very honestly and very upfront, which is the style of Alankrita Srivastava. I mean, for all those who've seen Lipstick Under My Burqa, you'll know that she's a no-holds-barred kind of filmmaker. So there she is again with this series. There is nothing that is covered or hushed about anything. She's very upfront and very open, and I mean, that's what I think makes the series very real. It gets a little uncomfortable to view at times, admittedly, and just as a warning, I would rather recommend that you don't watch it with the kids. It's not a show you can watch with the kids. It's something which you need to watch just by yourself, because it does get a bit explicit at times. But what makes it believable is it's very honest. It's not, whatever is not shown for sensationalism or for effect. It's a natural progression of the story. And hence, the times that you squirm and you feel uncomfortable are the times which are meant to make you squirm, which are meant to make you feel uncomfortable, because that's what it is in real life. But on the whole, I think Bombay Begum is a very well made series. The last episode ends at a note, at quite a very interesting note, which makes us look forward to season 2 and gives us a brief glimpse of what to expect in season 2. I hope there is a season 2 soon enough, because it's as I said, it's a very well made series, and the performances are fabulous. Whether it is Pooja Bhatt as the dynamic Rani Irani, or Shahana Goswami as Fatima. I think Shahana Goswami is a brilliant actress, and she just proves her mettle yet again in her portrayal of Fatima. The role of Aisha is essayed by Plabita Bhaut Thakur, and she is fabulous. She is absolutely superb. The role of this young girl from a small town with big dreams, and the price she's willing to pay. She's absolutely superb. She is really, really good. As is the character of Lily, portrayed by Amrita Subhash. And for me, I think my favorite in the entire series has been the performance of Amrita Subhash. She has been outstanding as Lily, and I think the whole series, as great as it is, as good as it is worth a watch simply and specially for Amrita Subhash. Her portrayal of this fallen woman, Lily, an ex-bar dancer, and now forced to be a prostitute in order to run her household and give her son a good education. She is marvelous. She is absolutely brilliant. Great performances all around. A very hard-hitting and believable approach to the storytelling makes Bombay Begums a compelling view, according to me. But as I said, it does get a little explicit at times, at most times, really. So, be careful when you watch it. Do not watch it with the kids. Do not watch it with people you might be uncomfortable watching it with. But it's a must-watch. I think it's also a show like this is also a sign of times that perhaps the audience is maturing to accept such shows and not be too judgmental about the superficial things, and really get to the message or the story or the point of view that is being explored. And I, for one, think Bombay Begums is a great show. I hope it stays on, and this controversy over it passes sooner than later, and you're able to watch the show, because it is a show worth watching, according to me. Bombay Begums is definitely a must-watch in my books, and do watch it, as long as it is on Netflix. That's all for this week. I'll be back next week again, discussing some of my favorite cinema as usual. And in your comment section, do let me know what you think of this video. Thanks, and bye for now.